to Fly Eats Kitchen. I'm Jessica, your host, and I know I have been gone for a hot minute. But you know, life happens and I'm no exception. But I'm back, y'all. I'm so excited to be back and so excited to get right into these Fly Eats recipes. Today we are making the most amazing, delicious shrimp flatbread. Well, not just any flatbread. We're gonna make homemade focaccia bread, and we're gonna top it with our yummy formaggio cheese blend, shrimp, like I said, pesto, sun-dried tomatoes, red onions, you know, lots and lots of garlic, because you know how we do it over here at Fly Eats. I just am so hyped to be in front of you guys and to be ready to try this recipe with you, and for you guys to try it at home, and of course let me know. I just want to say thank you guys so much for all of the love and support, for continuing to watch my videos, sharing them, still subscribing, just giving me so much love and support, and really that ammunition to come back into the game and back into this Fly Eats kitchen. So let's get started. Let's get started with making our focaccia bread. The ingredients themselves are super simple. The hardest part of this entire recipe is just having to wait, because you do need to allow the dough to rest for a minimum of 4 hours in order for it to bake and rise and do the things that bread does in order for it to be good. So what you need for sure is your large mixing bowl, and then you're going to add 1 2/3 cups of lukewarm water. To that lukewarm water, you're going to add your 1 teaspoon of instant yeast, which you can purchase at your local grocery store. And then you're also going to add 1 teaspoon of sugar. I really want to sing, you know, the song, make the medicine go down. Okay, don't judge me. You're going to go ahead and whisk that all together. Let that instant yeast do what it do in order for this bread to come together. And then you're going to add in your 3 3/4 cups of wheat flour. Look at me with these measurements. Oh my God, I'm so proud of myself. Add in your wheat flour or white flour, whichever you have on hand. And then you're going to add in your 1 teaspoon of salt and also 1 tablespoon of olive oil. You're going to then mix it all together. You don't need to overwork it or overdo it. I have a heavy hand, so I tend to overwork everything. But just gently mix it together until you have a beautiful dough ready for it to be rested for, like I said, a minimum of 4 hours. I covered it with like a cloth, placed it in the fridge, let it rest. After the resting period, you go ahead and grab it out, of course. And then in your baking dish, a large baking dish, you add in your olive oil. I really went ham with the olive oil, y'all. So, you know, do what I say, not what I do, I guess. You just want to coat it, you know, to a good enough amount in your baking dish so that you can add your dough on top. How beautiful that dough looks. So let your olive oil be your aid in placing that dough in the dish and just allowing it to help you to spread it all out. Let it get all covered with that olive oil. Honestly, this really helps, in my opinion, for the focaccia bread to just be super soft inside and yet still crunchy on the outside. So then I just kind of created these divots. You know how focaccia bread looks. You're gonna create these little divots without making too many holes. And if you have some holes, you know what, the dough is very forgiving. You can kind of put it all together. And then a little side dish, I added some dried rosemary, garlic powder, as well as some salt. You don't want to overdo it, only because we're going to add so much toppings on it that you don't want it to be over salted. So you're going to place that in the oven for 25 minutes at 450, and let's get our shrimp together. Now that our bread is almost done baking, we are going to get ready for our shrimp. You know, it's very quick and easy to make. And of course, y'all know I love wild-caught red Argentinian shrimp. Most of my recipes include this shrimp because of the flavor, the freshness of it. Even when you get it frozen, once it's thawed out, it really just carries the freshness and the note of seafood that you want, but not overpowering. You don't just taste the sea. You know, when things are too fishy or too shrimpy, yeah, we don't like that over here. We like something that's gonna really adapt well to all the flavors that we add to it, and we're definitely gonna layer some great flavors on top of our focaccia bread. So let's go ahead and start to season this shrimp and then get the rest of our toppings going. Of course, after cleaning your shrimp, deveining it, and all that good stuff, you're going to add some more lemon or lime juice, as well as some Cajun seasoning, and yes, garlic powder. I'm sorry, but I just love it, and there's more. So you're going to chop up some fresh garlic as well, and add it to your skillet at medium-high heat, and allowing it to just cook just for a few minutes until you add in your shrimp. So I only added a few at a time, just allowing it to cook for like literally a minute or two on each side, because remember, remember, we are adding this on top of our focaccia bread, and so you don't need to overcook it at all. We don't want rubbery shrimp. We want it to be cooked just right, and so that when it bakes, it's just even better and just gains all that extra flavor. Once the shrimp is cooked on both sides, you want to take it off the heat onto a plate while we get our sun-dried tomato paste ready. For our tomato sauce, we just blend some sun-dried tomatoes as well as fresh garlic until it's like a pretty chunky consistency. It doesn't have to be super smooth. And then you're going to just heat your pesto in order to top on our beautiful focaccia bread. Now that our bread is ready, it's beautiful, it's flaky and crispy on top, and I promise y'all, so moist and soft in the center. Now it is time to add all of our wonderful toppings. So on that flatbread, that same sun-dried tomato paste that we just created, you're going to go ahead and add that on there. And that was just one full jar of sun-dried tomatoes that I added into the blender with some garlic. It already has oil in the jar, so you don't have to add any additional oil, which is great. And you're just going to go ahead and spread evenly on top of your flatbread until it is covering pretty much the entirety of the flatbread. Unless you want a really crusty type of flatbread, which I don't know, just doesn't really work well for what I felt like I wanted. Then you're going to add in your red onions, nicely thinly diced, and then of course throw on your yummy chunky shrimp. So some of the shrimp I did cut a little bit, but honestly that red Argentinian shrimp are pretty large and I kind of liked it. I feel like it just made it feel super indulgent. And then we add slowly our cheese. This is the formaggio blend that I love from Trader Joe's. I've used it in other recipes before. It's a mix of Asiago, mozzarella, Parmesan. It's just a really great blend and super simple to just add on top of your flatbread. You can put as little or as much as you like. I love cheese. I'm a cheese girl. That's why I can never be fully vegan. And so I definitely went hard with spreading that cheese all over. So once that is done, then you're gonna add your dollops of your pesto, pretty large dollops, and then into the oven for like 10 minutes max. You want to kind of watch it so that it doesn't overly burn. And look, y'all, look how beautiful that cheese is melted, our pesto is cooked. It's just, oh, the shrimp is perfectly cooked. If you want a little extra color, you can definitely put on high broil. But like I said, make sure you watch it because you don't want it to burn and you don't want to waste all of your hard work. So now let's give it a try. Our wonderful focaccia flatbread is ready. Y'all, I don't know. This might be one of the greats because this meal looks amazing. Between the pesto sauce, our sun-dried tomatoes, these chunky shrimps. Listen, we did not skimp on the shrimp. We don't do that over here in Fly Eats. This is amazing. So what do we have to do? Definitely a taste test. Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 Y'all, it's too good. The focaccia is perfectly crispy, yet still soft in the center. And see how easy it was to make it. Literally, you can make this once a week and put whatever toppings you want. But this is such an amazing and fun meal to make. And that's what makes it so fly. You can literally make it with your kids, have fun with the toppings, get creative. I know that focaccia bread, it gets a little challenging because for me, baking is challenging just in general. But honestly, y'all, once you get past that, you can have so much fun with this recipe. So make sure you guys try it. I'm going to keep eating it. Make sure that you like, subscribe, share, comment below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am back, baby, and I'm so happy to be back. I'll catch y'all on another episode of Fly Eats Kitchen.